and we are live. Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin realtor. Sorry, that's the plug for my other channel on the live streams. Thank you so much for joining Real YouTube Mastermind. I love this channel because all I like to do is talk about YouTube and real estate, all that fun stuff. So I've been putting out filmed interviews. I put those out on Tuesdays. If you like these live streams that we're going to do today, I would appreciate you dropping in the comments more live streams. And I might do a Friday live stream every day. We'll review agents' channels. We'll talk about YouTube in depth. We'll bring on great characters like the one we have today. And my guest is somebody that I value their opinion dearly. We can get quite spicy, the two of us. So this might be a very, very spicy event today. But my guest is Kristina Smallhorn. Welcome to the channel. Spicy.
I like that.
Spicy. We got some people from Arizona. What's up, yo?
Yo.
Jamie Phillips, what's up? From Sherman, Texas. Hello. Bill Olson in the house. Hi, Bill. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to review some channels later. If you want us to review your channel, drop it in the comment section right there, and then we'll review it. I have 3 already. We'll go through them. Okay, Kristina, the topic today, what the hell realtors are doing wrong on YouTube and what they must stop now. What do you got?
The first thing I would say is lose the intro. Like, I know there's so many people that are emotionally attached. I spent $550 on this intro and it has the great drone shots and it shows my area. That 5 seconds that you threw that intro in probably made about 40% of the people leave because it's been proven over and over again. Nobody likes your intros. Nobody likes your intros. And one of my favorite quotes from Daryl Eves is data doesn't lie. So if you're losing audience retention to about let's just say 60% after the first 30 seconds, that's because your intro is too long and nobody cares about it. So lose the freaking intro. I hate those things.
Yeah, you told me that a long time ago. I had what I thought was a great little intro. And then as I kept editing my videos, I was like, I'm so sick of putting this intro in. And I just got rid of it finally. And I felt like that got me straight into I have my hook when I come in. And then just literally it's a transition into me, Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin realtor. And then bam, right into it.
And that made me think, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I have to say this.
No.
People, if they spent more time on those first 30 seconds to hook people in, they would have a lot better audience retention because most of your audience leaves within that first minute. So if you pack in as much information with great articles and, not visually blinding, but just variations in your editing style, putting up definitions of words, showing our magazine article where you highlight those words, things. That first minute, if you can retain that first minute, you'll do so much better in your YouTube journey. That first minute is literally the most important minute that you have. So make it count. That's why shorts, if you think about them, they're only a minute long. Why? Because that's when you can get the most people's attention.
Yeah, 1 minute info. And I feel like if you do shorts, you really got to pack that info in as quick as possible, which is hard to do because we all like to talk. And then my videos, I've created my videos with the ADHD in mind. I can't watch an 8-minute video. I'll fall asleep, but I create 8-minute videos knowing that if I can keep my attention, I'll keep most people's attention. And my attention is usually about 60%, which is crazy because that's still 5.5 minutes on an 8-minute video, which is not bad. I mean, I wish it was 8 minutes, but
I do want to point out though, if you have a video that gets hundreds of thousands of views in a very short period of time, and your average view duration goes from, let's say 60% to 50% or even 43%, that doesn't mean you have a bad video. It just means that there was a larger pool of people who don't know who you are. And it will, make your audience retention drop a little bit more, but you're still getting more views because it's been sent out to a larger pool of people. The other thing too is that sometimes you'll see a video and it takes off super, super, super fast. And you're like, what the heck? And then you'll see your audience retention has tanked. And I guarantee you the reason for that being is if you look at the traffic sources in your analytics, it will say outside sources, and then you'll click on the outside sources and it will just say Google. So what happens is Google will put it at the top of a page and it ends up not satisfying the audience on Google itself. And so those people will click on the video and be like, oh, that wasn't what I was looking for. And they click off immediately. Whenever I get that outside sources as a traffic source, my audience view duration tanks. But that doesn't mean the video is not going to be successful. I have one that I put out a couple months ago or even a month ago about Home Depot houses. I think my audience retention on that is 32% because there was about 100,000 views in that went to the outside sources and they didn't even watch it. They barely even clicked on the video. So it really made my average view duration take off. But if I remove that, I still had 44%. So yeah, if you, the Home Depot one. Yeah. It was a month ago. The Home Depot one.
Oh man, you got so many videos.
Affordable, third row down.
This one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's
we're gonna merge
794,000.
analytics. Ooh, I like you got the subtitles on there. Okay, so all right. So first thing people are doing wrong is let's remove that. There you go. Okay. So first thing people are doing wrong is too long of intros. Okay, get rid of that little channel banner thing. You know, we sell homes in wherever. What's the next thing that realtor YouTubers need to stop doing that's killing their channel?
They think it's about them and not about the audience. So they'll say, I want to make a video about this. And I'm like, okay, great. You want to make a video about this specific thing. Let's just say it's a restaurant tour of your area, but it doesn't, first of all, relate to real estate. Sure, it relates to your town. How are you going to tie that into real estate? And then the whole time they're talking about, I like this. I, me, I. No one gives a flying flip on who you are and what you're doing. They just want the information that you're going to provide. When you do videos about the digital mayor thing, they do not do well. I mean, I'm sure there are some channels that make it, but typically they do not do well for our niche on YouTube. They may do well on Facebook and everything else. For YouTube, informational videos or entertainment type videos are what does well. And you got to remember when you're looking at YouTube, YouTube is wanting to sending it out to as big of an audience as possible. So when you're talking about your local towns, restaurants, unless you live in a huge town like New York City or Austin, Texas, or Dallas, Texas, nobody really cares. Like if I was to do that for my little town here in Ascension Parish, like I probably get 5 views. But if I made that same video and said the best neighborhoods with the best neighborhoods with the best restaurants in all of Louisiana, that would get a lot more clicks, a lot more interest. And it makes sense because it's for a real estate channel.
Got it. Okay. So, and I want to hear from you on the comments. What are some things that you're doing on your channel, or are you doing these two things right now? And you're like, yep, that's me. I want to hear from you in the comments. So it's funny as you said that, the digital mayor, one time Katie Day was asking me about her channel. Love Katie Day. And I was like, well, stop doing these restaurant videos. They're not, and she's like, but people like them. I'm like, you know what? You're right. You got to do what's best for your channel and what your audience is, right? Not my audience isn't going to be the same audience as your audience, right? Your audience,
right? True.
Or Javier's audience. Like I would never do first-time home buyer talks. And you go to Javier's channel and he's doing full hour live streams with 400 people watching about first-time home buyer stuff. So his audience is way different than yours, way different than mine. And Katie's is different. Go ahead.
I one more thing I want to tell people that they're doing, because I have to like get this out of my head if I don't say it. A lot of, and I don't know if this is the class that people tell you or what they're like, I don't know where this is coming from, but they'll say after that 30 seconds, after they're doing the video, they'll say, hi, my name is Kristina Smallhorn with eXp Realty, and I'm here to help you find your real estate needs. So make sure you hit the like, sharing, and subscribe channel, and then now we're going to get right into it. You did another like 15 seconds about you, and the audience doesn't care. The audience does not care who you are. If you give them all the information up front and at the end you say who you are, you're going to be much better off, because at that point, if they've spent all 8 minutes with you, then at that point they do want to know who you are. That's
yeah. So I could say in my videos, and you could tell me I'm doing this wrong, but I have a 10-second hook, maybe sometimes less, but I try not to keep it longer than this, like this, whatever. And then I go straight into Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin realtor, and then I go right into the topic. Like I say, just how fast I said that right there is how fast I say it in my videos. I don't put my contact info up in the video. It might say just my title and my name, but I'm going in right into the topic. So within 15 seconds of being in this video, you're already kind of getting into the meat of what's going on. So do you recommend agents do more of that if they're going to say their name? Like, what do you think there?
That's what you would do. I would just, because it was a hard habit for me to break too, because I had this whole spiel of what I would do. It was like a recipe. I followed the recipe all the way down. But then I realized, so then I just started writing my name at the bottom, Kristina Smallhorn, like just like this is, like it would come down as the lower thirds with my name. Then I even dropped that. I don't even do it at the end. I don't even write my name at the end because the name of my channel is my name. So it's like whatever, and I don't know. I just for me, and I think about it as me as a viewer, I just want to watch the video. Like I don't need to know all this extra stuff about who you are. I just want to watch a video. And with that theory in mind, I made these videos from like 2 years ago on using that kind of thing. And my audience retention shot up and my channels shot up. Those are one of the key things I changed was I quit trying to sell people and I just gave them an information. Like there is so much calls to action in people's videos. Download my PDF, make sure you subscribe here, go ahead and sign my referral form, do this. You're asking your audience to do all this shit for you and you haven't delivered on anything. The whole time you're just selling. And I know it's always be selling, but you know what? This is why people hate real estate agents, because we're always selling instead of just having a normal conversation. It just my normal conversation is through the camera. Have a normal conversation and treat these people like they're human beings and not something that needs to be sold to that you can make money off of. Don't treat them like they're cash cows.
Right.
That's my thought on it.
No, I agree with you. I think, I just started doing Tom Ferry coaching a couple of weeks ago. I was forced by Tim Macy. He really put the theoretical gun to my head. So thanks, Tim Macy. But my coach goes, okay, so what's your call to action on your YouTube video? And I literally like laughed in his face, not meanly, but it's like, there's no call to action. So how are people knowing to reach out to you? And I'm like, they know I'm not selling them anything. I've changed my role from being a agent or a realtor, right? That is my profession, but that is not who I am. I've turned myself into, and I think of myself and what I do on YouTube as an advisor. I'm helping people and I'm giving them what the data that I have in front of me, whether it's whatever the good and bad of a neighborhood or whatever it is. I changed that role into an advisor, and I have people. In fact, I had Bloomberg in my car 2 days ago, showing him what's actually happening in the Austin market. And the Bloomberg guy is like, "So is your getting a lot of business from YouTube?" And my editor's in the car with me, and I go, "Well, here's the deal about my YouTube channel. I find that," and I didn't talk about what I did for business, if I was making money off of it, none of that. I said, I find that people that come to my channel are a lot more prepared and informed for the real estate market, whether they're going to work with me or anyone else. I've had realtors in my market that are going, "Hey, my client told me about a neighborhood that you talked about on your channel." Or I'll call agents now when I go to do showings and like, "Oh yeah, you're the YouTube guy. I know you," whether they like that or not, So I feel like as long as you're coming with a ton of value instead of selling, right? And I think that's the biggest problem that I've seen with some of these. So if you're going into like, "Hi, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, call me." Exactly to your point right there. I think that's the worst thing you can do for your channel. One of the worst.
Well, and I think that comes from a lot of like coaching things that we do all through real estate. And then other thing is that people, because we are so used to scripts and scripting and how to talk. Wait, I don't know why we can't talk to people without a script, but that seems to be a pattern with real estate agents. Instead of using a script, so you sound more natural, have a conversation to the camera, put down some questions that you feel like someone would ask you, and then look into that camera and answer your best friend. and answer them honestly. If you think something stinks and you think it's horrible and you're like, well, I'm not really sure because I don't want to piss people off. No, just be who you are. And then you'll eliminate a lot of people you don't like in the first place, and
Yeah.
just, if there's something going on in your market that smells fishy, just say it. Like, this smells fishy. This does not seem like a legitimate thing. I'm just, talking from what my gut feels. I don't have any facts on that. If you're honest with them with that information, people are going to be like, wow, that's pretty cool. Last week, I
Misha
moved my
says,
call to action all the way to the back of the video, and the audience retention was about 15% higher than normal. Went from 55% to still like 70%. This week, I will leave it out completely. Whoop, whoop.
there you
Thank
go.
you.
Proof of concept, Misha. Thanks. Okay, so we've talked about intros. We've talked about calls to action. What about content-wise? What is some content that agents are doing that they're being told to do, but is completely wrong?
I think they get focused on there's a group of them. They all do the same kind of thing. I make a pros and cons video. I make a living in video. I make a, and then when they keep pushing those out, so they'll do pros and cons, pros and cons, pros and cons, pros and cons. And they keep doing that. And they're like, my videos are not doing great. I'm like, you're oversaturating your market. You're over saturating your market. And I know Bill is saying boring market updates. I do a market update every single week on a live stream, and people eat that crap up. But there's a way to do a market update and do it correctly. So you could do a market update talking about your local market, but using the headlines from newspapers to support what you're saying, and saying, like, this newspaper is selling you newspapers for a reason. Because if you actually go into the article, this is what the real information is. So don't pay attention to the headline. Let me show you exactly what's happening from our MLS. That makes an exciting market update. But if you're just sitting there reading numbers and like on a whiteboard, that's not very exciting. Like tie it all together with their everyday lives on how these things are affecting them. And then they'll be more interested in your market update. I use them. I do it all every week.
So that actually, at one point, and I got to get to this other point. So I hate pros and cons videos.
Can't stand them.
I understand, like, if you're going to a coaching program or whatever, and you need content, pros and cons video is a quick way to do content. So I get it, right? If you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out what content to do, a pros and cons video isn't the worst thing in the world, but it is a piece of content you can do. Here'd be a better suggestion. And I'm going to give everyone the biggest piece, what propelled my business in Austin. I found the Facebook group, like the Moving to Austin Facebook group, right? I went in there. There's probably like 15 moving to Texas, moving to Austin. And I just started asking questions like, hey, what does everybody think about this? And I was not selling anything in the Facebook group. And then I'd start looking at all the comments, and then I'd read what people were asking questions. And then I'd start a video on what was the top thing that I was seeing people like ask about or whatever. And I would do a video kind of catered around that. So if you want content ideas, the biggest thing you can do, and Kristina made the point earlier, don't make it about you, make it about what people are searching for. So go search for what people are searching for instead of making content you think that you want to put out. Because that's the toughest part is I hate doing neighborhood videos, but people love neighborhood videos. I don't want to ever do a neighborhood video again. But
sorry about my dogs.
You're good.
I do want to say this, and making search videos is not about using keyword tools to find the perfect keywords to make your video blow up. I will die on this hill because I know you hear, in order to have your videos found, you're going to have to use search, and you're going to have to use the right keywords so your videos get ranked on Google. That is the horse poop that was sold to me for 2.5 years to my channel, and it sat there and puttered and puttered and puttered along because that's what the thing to do was. I have not used a keyword tool to find the magical keywords in years, in the last 2 years. Like since 2019, I have not used a keyword tool. They're all I'm not gonna say that because they're not a scam. That isn't it. We're using them incorrectly. We're using them in a way that makes you think or believe that if once you find the magical key soup of keyword phrases that you can thread together in your paragraph at the bottom and make this SEO rich description, that's going to make your video get found. And that's really not that. It's really not that. It's your thumbnail, your title, and the content, like the actual video itself. Those are the three things that will make your video take off. If you can satisfy all 100 people on your channel that's subscribed and they watch that video from all the way to the end, to the front to the end, YouTube says, oh my God, 100 people really liked that video. We'll go ahead and send it out to 1,000 people. Oh, more than half of those 1,000 people really liked that video. So let's go send it out to 10,000 people. And that's how it works. That's how it works. It's not that you spent an hour trying to find the perfect trending keyword phrase. That's just not how this works. None of it.
So this question basically is, it's to your point. So I don't use TubeBuddy at all. I've never used it. I've never paid for subscription, never done it. But that's just me. Like Karen, I told that to Karen Carr a couple weeks ago on an interview. The Karen Carr interview comes out on Tuesday. Karen Carr's face was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I've never used it.
I use TubeBuddy they have a really good organization skills. They help you really maintain your channel in an easy way, because you can make you can make phrases that you use constantly when you're answering comments, like thank you for watching. So I can use their tools within TubeBuddy. It helps you organize your channel really well. They also have another feature, which is A/B testing, where you can take two thumbnails and two different titles and go back and forth. Do not do this within the first week. But if you have a video that's just kind of doing nothing, then do the A/B testing and see how those two work. I have not touched a keyword. Like, I know that everybody's like, oh, you have to use keywords everywhere in vidIQ, and then you got to use morning fame, and then you make sure all the numbers match. That will literally drive your brain insane. And the keyword score, I've gotten 100. I've gotten 100 on TubeBuddy, and I remember being so excited, like, I can't wait to publish on this one because it's gonna take off. And nothing happened. I mean, I was cranking it out if I did 1,500 views on one video. You're really wasting your time. If you haven't yet, everybody, I'm telling you, whoever's watching this, go buy this book. This is by Daryl Eves. This is exactly the recipe I use for all of my videos. He breaks down exactly how to do your YouTube channel and make it successful. And he also has something on his channel called the 30-day challenge. All of it is free. The book is free, but the 30-day challenge is free. So you might as well do it. Read the book. I mean, it's what, $16, $17. I mean, just do it. Yeah. And if you don't know, I'm in the book.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. I'm in the
book. So we're talking about, okay, obviously SEO isn't the end all be all. So if somebody's focusing just on titles, that might not be the best thing for their channel, right? It's probably not the worst thing, but it's not the thing that's going to be over the top for them.
The worst titles I've ever seen, it'll be like living in, and then they'll do like a dash, Dallas, Texas, dash, what you need to know, dash. Yeah. Like they stuff all these, like what you need to know when moving to Dallas, Texas. They try to stuff as many keywords as possible in the title. And then their description reads like keyword soup, like they literally stuffed as much as they could. YouTube has flat out said, if you're going to do this strategy and we catch you, you will lose your channel, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, are they going to catch everybody? Absolutely not. There's millions of video view hours that are thrown up on YouTube every single day. But if there's someone that decides that they want to be a jerk, they can do that to you. But when you do all those, what they call double titles, because you're going to get the SEO juice, that's another, nope. Kristina says absolutely not.
No SEO juice. Okay. So you said earlier that thumbnails and titles, and I think we've on YouTube Mastermind, we've beat this topic to death. But when it comes to titles, I had a longest time, I had biggest beef on for my channel of putting my face on the thumbnails. Now everybody makes fun of me for airbrushing my face and making myself look nice and pretty on my thumbnails. Hate is gonna hate. Hate is gonna hate. But my face is on there. My audience likes it. So number one, face or no face on your thumbnails. And then second, text. What should people be doing? What are people doing wrong with text on their thumbnails?
When it comes to text on thumbnails, Daryl Eves says, and I believe this too. He says, if you can convey everything you need to convey of that title in just a photograph with no words whatsoever, you've won the thumbnail lottery. If you can't distinguish what it is in that thumbnail without words, or just at least one word, if you could make those words as minimal as possible, and give something exciting about that thumbnail that makes it want to pop off, whether that be an arrow, a shocked face. And not every time do you need your face. You know, you don't need your face. I tell him all the time. He's like, I like my thumbnails. I love this. This is one of my favorite people. I love Jason Mulcher so much. He's on my show often, and he is like seriously the nicest dude. Dude. But I told him, I'm like, you need to change your thumbnails. And he flat out told me, he goes, I like my thumbnails. I said, you don't need to like your thumbnails. Other people need to like your thumbnails. So
well, I mean, the guy is doing something right. He might not be at Kristina level, but 37,000 subs.
Oh, yeah.
He's 2-day video, 11K. Yeah.
Right. But see, like he's doing a lot of good things. You know, I just think if he just added that one more layer, he would be, he'd be creaming my views. There's several people that I know that could totally blow my views away if they just change a couple things. I tell them all the time, I'm like, all you have to do is this, and you could blow out my views big time.
That's funny. Bill says not my face, but team face.
Okay, so here's the thing about faces or no faces. Like if you go to my channel really quick, you can throw that up on the screen. You can see in some cases I have my face. In other cases, I do not. But there's a reason why. I've tested this. Okay. So when I'm talking about the housing market itself in a live stream, I rarely put my face. Rarely. You'll see those where it says like an hour and 25 minutes. Those are live streams. I rarely put my face. But I do use like 3 components that are obviously easy to read on a thumbnail. But if I'm talking about a specific type of house, people want to know about the house. They don't want to know about me. They don't care less. But if I'm talking about anything like, I know everybody's favorite topic is housing crash, housing bubble, housing affordability, those types of things, then I'll add my face because they want to hear my expert opinion on those topics. But if I'm talking about house, nobody cares about that, Oh, look, a pros and cons video.
I'm trying to figure out who the AZ Life's channel is. I want to look at it because he said he doesn't like his thumbnails.
Okay.
CTR is 5 to 8, but they aren't good. So what's your channel? I want to pull it up, and we'll start reviewing channels. But
put the filter, hit the filter button, and put channels, filter, and then channel.
Boom. There you go. Nailed it. See, here we go.
Yeah, I know some stuff about YouTube.
Oh, Rich. Okay, what's up, man? Yeah, this is the first time you've done YouTube. Okay, so I mean, I don't hate your thumbnails. It's just too wordy for me.
They're wordy, and then he this pose right here, this is a I don't know how to explain it. This is one of those things that like a lot of the YouTube gurus do, like Nick Dimon and stuff like that. He'll do that. But I invite you to look at people that are successful on YouTube thumbnails. Okay. So one of my favorite ones, my favorite person to look at as far as their thumbnails are concerned is Graham Stephan. You may not like him or his content or anything else. He has the most genius thumbnails ever. And I found out at Vid Summit, he actually personally makes every single one of those thumbnails. He said he does not have time to wait and train somebody because he can't get what they need. Like he understands YouTube. And I think a lot of times with real estate agents, we say, oh, we're too busy for this specific thing, which is the thumbnail, right? But once you start learning the science of thumbnails, you understand that a lot more than a lot of these editors do. They're doing
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thumbnails. So they're kind of like, they're basically following a recipe too. They're not following your specific audience. They don't know what your audience is ages. They
Yeah.
don't know what they like. They don't know what they're watching. They know nothing about your specific audience. So when I'm creating my thumbnails, I know what my audience likes. I know what they react to. Do I hit it every single time? Absolutely not. But at least I know I keep the audience person in mind and what they would click on, what I know that they like. So with these just look like every other real estate agent's thumbnails that don't get a lot of views.
I like the one on here that's 5 actual ways to decide where to live. I like this because it's a stock photo. It's not his face. Not that your face is bad, but you got like these two right here, a little overexposed. Or like this one, I like, you can actually see like his face isn't overexposed. Where in Arizona, I mean, that's not a bad thumbnail. It's not a ton of words. I see people like this one right here, 6 reasons. Like this is way too much words for me. This 6 reasons you will love Queen Creek. And I'm going to be honest with you, I lived in Phoenix. There's no reason to love Queen Creek. Sorry, Rich.
Can I make an observation really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so with your titles, if you look, you'll see like some of the words you used are capitalized and then sometimes they're not. When I make my titles, every letter of each word at the beginning is always capitalized, every single word. And if it's a word that I want to use as an attention word, I will capitalize all the letters in that specific word. But a lot of them are like, if you look at the top cities, people are, and then lowercase, moving to, near, Phoenix, you have to be consistent. So I would capitalize each letter of each word in a title. And if it's a power word, then you capitalize it all the way through.
Got it.
Like he did this very similar, except for he did like if you look at what is life in Phoenix, like 5 best reasons why people, like he's got these up and down.
So this thumbnail that he has right here on the 5 top cities people are, it's the second one in. I love this thumbnail. The only thing that I would have done differently is blurred out around the microscope and made what was in the scope like super clear. That way,
it's kind of washed out though. Like if you look at the coloring, it's like you can see Gilbert versus Chandler.
Yeah,
he's warm and his face is warm there, and the next one over he looks like it's like ghostly white. So work on your exposure on your photographs. They can be fixed.
There's a guy in Austin. I met with him a week ago. His name is Charles, and his channel, he can't get his face exposed right on his videos or his actual like thumbnails. This would be the prime example of like if you look at Rich's like 5th video over here to the right, where in Arizona, like man, that's perfect. There you go, nailed it. But yeah, I agree with you. And then this one right here, Chandler versus Gilbert. I mean, Chandler wins. Like, come on. Sorry. I lived in Phoenix. That's Arizona State. I'm a Sun Devil. So Rich Brecklin. I love, dude. Look at this, like his channel banner. What a freaking handsome dude. Look at this guy. Right? Yeah. There you go. A handsome dude. And then you blow out your face here in the thumbnails.
Can I can I give something about okay. So channel banners, this is another thing that like everybody throws their calls to action in here. Here's my phone number, here's my email, here it is. Go to my website. Okay. So here's the thing. You're not offering anybody a value proposition. You're just saying, I'm Rich Brecklin Group. Yay, Arizona. Here's my phone now. Like you're asking them to do something for you, but you're not offering them anything. This is your opportunity to show your value in one simple statement, right? So I put real estate for everyone. Some people will be like, real estate mom, like everybody has their value proposition. So try to find out what your value proposition is. And if you can't figure it out, this is one of the best things I ever did for myself. And that was I did a post on my, like at the time it was Facebook. I did a post on what is it that you felt like when you worked with me? If you bought or sold a house with me, what was it that you made you want to work with me or want to work with me again? And the answers were amazing, you know. And at that time I was like, oh, I'm going to be the real estate whisperer. That used to be my channel. I still use that at the end. But the statement was that you never made me feel like my home wasn't important. So like I live in a really rural area. So I don't care if you're buying a manufactured mobile home or you're buying a piece of dirt that's $30,000. It doesn't matter. You're my client and I work with you just as well as I work with anybody. I give everybody professional photographs for houses that are like way under $100,000. And people are like, why do you put all that work in there? I'm like, because why wouldn't I give them the same level of service as someone that's buying a $250,000 house? It's still a house, you know? So that feeling that people got from me, you're like, you made me feel like I was just as important as everybody else. And that's why I came up with that values proposition, because real estate shouldn't just be for the rich. It should be for everybody. So that's why that was my value proposition. And I added that to my channel banner. And
Well,
I know some brokerages, yeah, I know some brokerages require some things. Now my brokerage requires that I have to, in my area says I have to have my logo somewhere on the channel. So I put that there. And then for myself, and it had been wavered back and forth if you needed to have the fair housing symbol on your banner. I mean, what could it hurt? It doesn't matter how small it is, as long as you can see it with your own two eyes. So I put it over in the left-hand corner. You can't see it on mobile, but it's there. So
back to the channel titles. What would you change or make his titles better? I think we kind of answered that, but what are some ways to actually make your titles better?
This is, again, knowing who your audience is, right? So some channels like a more positive type of spin. So best things you didn't know, best things to know. That, you know, they want that, but mine likes drama. So I always have to put in, you know, 5 lies you never knew about manufactured homes. You know, like I have to do that in order for them to click. You know, 5 scandalous ways home builders are screwing you over. That kind of stuff makes people go, oh, let me see that. You know? So.
Yeah, that's some of my titles. I think are very. I mean, there's times you'll tell me your titles suck, right? You message me. You're like, your titles suck, and I take it because you're the woman. But there's times that you'll be like, damn, that was a good title. So we'll look at my channel.
Sometimes I'm like, damn, that was a good freaking thumbnail too. And I don't mind your airbrushed. You do, like, I don't mind it because your lighting is good and it all flows together. Like, I don't know, I like it. And if you don't think that all the dudes that are on YouTube airbrush themselves, you're out of your damn mind.
Yeah.
Go to like one of the funniest ones I've ever seen is where they airbrush it out and then added imperfections onto it, like where they added the furrow in the eyebrow and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, that is so funny. Why did you do that?
Oh, yeah. So this is a good one. Actually, I have a builder one. Let's do this. Let's go to my most popular.
Most popular.
Oh, let's go here.
Have you got a million viewed yet?
Nope. No, I'm not as cool as you. Oh, it's total views. Yeah. But yeah, builders terminating buyers contracts.
That was a good thumbnail. I knew it right away.
Yeah. So, I mean, and so I tried to emulate that over and over, and it's really hard to do. But here's one that got copied 100,000 times, and I told people to copy it. Massive problems in the Austin market. So that was a good one as well. This one right here, the future of Austin's housing. I stole that from Javier, kind of. So
it's not stealing. Okay, let me clarify this, because somebody will say, "Oh my God, did you see that Jeb Smith is ripping off your thumbnails?" I'm like, no, he's not. Are they similar to mine? Sure. But is he ripping me off? No. Ripping me off would be he is literally taking my face off and then he's sticking his face on. No, he's literally looking at mine going, hey, that probably worked for her channel. Let me try to see if it will work for mine. And he's doing his own version of the same thumbnail. That is not ripping off, and that's not stealing. That's just, just trying to see if it will work for his channel. Like everybody gets that confused. Did you see he ripped it off? No, that's not a rip off.
Rich says pretty much all my titles were finding high scores on TubeBuddy, not actual content, which feels not as genuine to myself.
Yeah,
What's
don't
my
do that. I did that.
yeah.
I did that. I did that because,
Mhm.
that's what they said to do. But they do not have successful channels. And that's why they sell courses instead of actually making YouTube videos that get people to watch them.
Uh, okay, so I'm going to answer this question real quick, and I'm going to have to use this camera to do it. All right. So look, see this box light right there? I got two of them in here. So I put the box light up to do my photos. I put the box light up above me, and then I put my camera in the middle of the box light. Sometimes I'll put it on a tripod, whatever, because if I want to get back, and I shoot it with a lot of direct light. And then I go back through and edit it if I need to add more light on the photo. And it's super, like, to do my face thumbnails, it takes me less than 5 minutes to do all the corrections, probably 3 minutes to do all the corrections for myself. And then I use PicMonkey. PicMonkey is like, I love PicMonkey. Kristina pushed me on a PicMonkey, but I would say
pushed so many people onto it.
directed me towards PicMonkey, and that has been phenomenal.
Yeah,
Let's look at a couple other.
somebody
Go ahead.
said, like, oh, well, the thing is you should really do Photoshop. I'm like, why should I do Photoshop when I have really good looking thumbnails now? Why do I need to switch because it's
Yeah.
Photoshop? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I do want to point out one really cool app that you can get and download on your phone for free. It's called Snapseed, right? So any photograph I take of myself, I will pull it up from Snapseed, and we'll just take this one right here. And it's like, you'll see my cat and myself, right? So it would be a really great picture. So I just pulled that in Snapseed, and at the bottom there's a tools button, and then I grab details. You hit the details button, and then you can start like sharp. I always pull up the structure on the picture. So now it's more, you can see more of the edges. And then I will pull up the sharpening, and I always bump that up about 27%, right? So now you can see how much clearer that is, right? And then I will check that off, and then I go in the tools again, go tune image, right? So you can see that the brightness is like off. So you can go into the little tune image. You can take the brightness and bring that down where it doesn't look grainy. Because if you do that in PicMonkey, as much as I love PicMonkey, it can make your picture almost look like a cartoon, or it becomes too sharp and it doesn't even look real anymore. You've distorted the picture. But if you do it in Snapseed first, your picture is going to be so much better off. Just FYI. Saturation. I always bump up that saturation. We want to make sure all those colors pop. And then we got some shadows and warmth. We're going to drop that down a little bit because it was a little too bright. So look, now we have a picture we can work with. You can put that in PicMonkey. And even if you have like where the eyes got like really freaky with a cat, you can even fix that in PicMonkey. It has a little thing that says in there, red eye reducer.
Yeah. Well, that's like on the PicMonkey, you can airbrush yourself and fix yourself pretty easily on there. All right,
Do it in
so
here first, though. Do it
okay,
in Snapseed first, and then throw it into PicMonkey. You'll be much better off.
really okay. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day with Kristina. Okay,
Because
so
I do this crap all day long.
so let's look at a couple other channels. Let's look at this is David Nakala. Is that it? All right, so
I
his
just say
channel.
tequila.
Tequila.
Not tequila. Nikila is what I would say.
Oh, Nikita. Okay. So he asked me to look at his channel. What do you think about this channel? 100 and what? 257 subs?
Okay, here's what I would say. Either decide if you're going to be a shorts channel or if you're going to be a long form channel. Not only that, with your long form videos, any videos that in order to get the best retention, you're going to have to be over 8 minutes. If it was me, I would have a channel that is just shorts, and then I would have another channel that's your long form videos, and you can have them complement each other. That's what I would do, because you're confusing the audience. There's two types of people. There's people that love that short, ADD attention span type of content. They just want to get the information really quick and move on. Then there's other people that want to sit down, like they turn on YouTube on their television and they're watching it like a television show. So those 18 like those, you're like, who watches the video for 18 minutes? And I remember we got in fights on Facebook about this, but it doesn't, because the audience at YouTube at that time didn't have short form content, and people really enjoyed watching YouTube like they do television. And so that's what I would tell you to do. I would have 2 separate channels.
Yeah.
And these titles are horrible. I mean, they're really bad. Really, really, really bad.
Sorry, David. And this channel is kind of all over the place too. You got drone listing photos, iPhone 13 unboxing. So it's kind of all over the place as far as what the content is. Like there's nothing cohesive about the heavy modified Corvette. I think you're probably confusing YouTube quite a bit with this.
So go up to the top, because his value proposition at the top says, your green homes design, build, real estate. Okay. So if it was me and I was coming to this channel, I would think you're going to be talking about green home construction, new types of green type of homes like yurts and modular homes. I would think you were making videos about that specific thing. If I came here and I saw all this other stuff on there, I'll be like, what in the world? Think of your YouTube channel just like you would think of television, correct? So if you went to HGTV and they started talking about Lamborghini reconstruction, you'd be like, what the hell are they doing? Like people click off. They are coming there for your green home building design. And you're talking about, the downsizing, being a landlord. What does that have to do with green building?
Yeah, no, I love it. One thing people I don't think they realize too is if you're doing shorts, you can actually edit and create a thumbnail for it.
That's not necessary though.
It's not necessary, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. I did one on my channel right here. This video did very well. It was a short, but I mean, so this Tesla news, right? 1,800 subs. That is a doctored thumbnail, right? That's not just, I went back and created this thumbnail. So you can go back and create the thumbnails. Even this one right here, where I was thanking the people on my channel. Like, that's
you have total cheesy salesman dude going right there.
I know. Totally.
Hey, let's get on it.
Yeah. And then like right after that, 400 people unsubscribed. So I was like, oh shit. I'm not gonna thank you bastards anymore. Just kidding.
That's right.
Just kidding. All right, let's look at another one. This is Joe Skirkis out of Florida.
Let's talk about his channel banner first.
Yeah, let's do that.
You got a lot going on in there. Okay, so living in Orlando is oh my God, Skirkis. I'm sure we're totally ruining his last name. I'm so sorry.
Skirkis, yeah.
You have too much going on in here. First of all, if people are they know to subscribe. We're beyond that, but people don't understand how to subscribe to a channel. Like even my 86-year-old parents know to subscribe to the channel. Get that off of there. Learn about living in Florida. New videos every week. Remove that new videos every week. Remove that. You don't need that. I don't know why that became a thing. There's no reason. Take it off. Your EXP Realty, just move that to the left. Nobody cares who you work for except for your company. So you need to have that on your banner. And I would say living your best life in Orlando.
Ooh, I like that.
That's it. That's your value proposition. Just simple words of that. Get all of that other nonsense on there. Like it's there. You got a lot. That's a lot of eye vomit.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of word vomit on the thumbnails too.
Yeah. Well, I think if he's been watching this, he's learned a lot about thumbnails, and he would know that the words he's going to work on not putting as many words on there. And I will tell you, red text is one of the most difficult things to read on a thumbnail. Do not do red text. You can do a red arrow, but don't do red text. It's so hard to read. The only one, like for instance, the only one I can really read if I'm at a glance is the one that says get a job, because you have a white background, you have the red and black outline, and then it, then it pops off the screen. But all the rest, your words are kind of blending in, and you got too much going on. I'll say another thing too. So if you look at the Orlando housing market as being manipulated, your image itself looks like you're down here, I don't know, you're like hiding. Hi. Hi, everybody. All right. What is it about that thumbnail that maybe would make people want to click? You
Yeah.
got, Zillow, Open Door, and everything else. Really start studying other channels that are talking about these things and how they did a thumbnail. I
Well, I
remember
mean, look, here's exactly what you're saying. Look at this, and then where was your channel? Well, look, then I'll just go to Jason's channel. It's clean. It's not
right,
as
simple to read,
it's simple. Yeah, and I think that's the
easy on
problem
the
with
eyes.
looking at this. Is this? It's. I mean, I don't even on your channel. I don't even know where to look.
The thing is that my channel literally looked exactly like this in a few years ago. I mean, like it literally was these thumbnails, and I thought I'm doing good. And I remember, I was on Nick Niven's live stream, and he was like, "You really need to work on your thumbnails." I'm like, I mean, give me
What?
a break. Like the picture on the front really makes a difference. That's not it. YouTube just hates me. I mean, that is a good thumbnail. He doesn't understand my niche. I was like, oh, yeah, I was wrong. Okay,
Let's look at
look at
Rob.
that. How long does it take to look at that thumbnail? Look at that one. The one he
Yep.
did 8 days ago. That is a spot on thumbnail.
Yep. I like that one.
I made it.
Oh no shit! I was gonna say that's a great looking thumbnail. Like,
I made it.
I like the cash cow one too. I would have just done a much bigger cow because I can't tell that that's a cow.
I would have the cow like right there in the corner, like one half of his face, like over the top, and then I would have him go moo, like a little moo out of it. I would have one.
Yeah.
I would definitely have the cow there, and I would push your face a little bit over to the right. There's kind of like a space there. You can push that even further over. You can push yourself over a little bit more, and then put the cow on the left hand side.
Well, I mean, just this is a pure example of making it just a lot less, or making it clean, right, and simple,
Uh-huh.
right? If you look at, I mean, look at Graham Stephan's channel, like you were talking about his thumbnails. Like it's his face, a Bitcoin, and a ball of fire. Okay,
It's
crypto's on
always 3
fire.
images.
Yeah, it's super simple. Where this is super simple. You have a for sale sign, a house, you looking at a watch. Like boom, simple. But then you go look at investing in episode 2. Like there's a city. I can't really see the city very well. I can't really see him.
Take
So
the
I
word
would.
vlogs out of your thumbnails. I mean, out of your titles. I don't know, like
Vlog.
nobody. And I've seen this a lot. I know we think we're interesting, right? Nobody gives a flying monkey's turd about your vlog, about you being a real estate agent. They really don't. Think of it from the perspective of a viewer. Do you really want to watch somebody's video diary? Not particularly.
Yeah.
Vlogging isn't necessarily the hot topic on YouTube anymore. Family vlogs, they're not as popular anymore. So think of that as a title of the best ways to invest in real estate. You don't have to put the word vlog. They'll see it's a vlog without having to say the word vlog. And I know you're like, well, Ryan Serhan does it. No, Ryan Serhan has an audience before he ever entered YouTube. I mean, like literally he could say monkey poop housing market and his videos will take off because that's what he does. Or
Right.
monkey poop housing market vlog. People are going to watch it because they like him. They're going to watch him.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I mean, if once you've built an audience, people are going to click on your stuff quicker too. I mean, Mr. Beast, I'm going to click on almost every Mr. Beast video that comes across my suggested, right? Because I'm like, oh, that's a cool thumbnail. It's clickable. I think that's the biggest problem agents.
But there's a lot to be learned from something like Mr. Beast. Granted, is he in our audience? Absolutely not. But pull up his channel, and there's a lot. All of us can learn from that channel. Do you know that Mr. Beast does not put keywords in his videos? He never puts tags in there. People will say, "Oh, that's because he's trying to, he's already got an audience." No, do you know why he doesn't put tags in there? Because they mean nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Literally, YouTube themselves has flat out said, it came from the horse's mouth, that when it comes to tags, they're the bottom of the list. Tags are intended for like misspellings of names, or like, for instance, I talk about manufactured housing. Some people refer to those as trailer homes. Some people refer to them as mobile homes. And I will put those as tags because it makes sense. But I'm not trying to find magic keywords to throw in the tags in order for my video to get found. That doesn't make sense. You're doing it for the wrong reason. So look, I want everybody to pay attention to one thing. Look how incredibly short his titles are. And do you know why he does that? Is because that way his title's not truncated off on your cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the whole title to be able to be read when you're looking on a cell phone. And he uses really bright colors and images that pop out of the screen. And the other thing is, look how large his face is on his thumbnails. You can see the whites of his eyes, his teeth are sticking right in front of you. He's not little tiny hanging down at the low bottom of the screen. He's up in front, right in front of your face. Like, yep. Hi. Of course, I'm not telling you to make those facial expressions, but I wanted you to see how large his actual face is so you could read his facial expressions.
Right. All right. One last channel before we get out of here. They asked me to look at this one. Orlando's Best with Brent and Jennifer. Off the bat, I'm going to say I love the channel banner. Super clean. I know what I'm looking at. Orlando's big. I know that's probably Brent to the left and Jennifer to the right. So I like this channel.
Wouldn't that be horrible if it wasn't?
Yeah.
We just got those from stock footagery. I don't know who those people are.
That would be funny. All right, let's look at some of these titles. What do you think? 10 fun facts about Orlando. I like that. I'd make them bigger though.
I like that one. That's a good one. That could take off later on too. I will. Those are when you do 10 fun facts or 10 things you didn't know. Those have a tendency to be like sleeper hits. Like you put them out there and you're like, this didn't do crap. And then all of a sudden you're like 2 weeks later, you're like, this one has 10,000 views. Where did those come from? They slowly grow.
What about some of the other ones where I feel like, they're in the photos, but they're not really in the photos.
Too tiny. That's exactly what I was talking about. And so new construction in Claremont, by the way, I used to live out in Lake County. I know where that is. There's nothing new construction about that thumbnail. And like, you guys are so tiny. So I would have put like the Jennifer on the left, and I would have put Brent on the right, and at the middle I would have had a home that's under construction, and you don't even have to say new construction Claremont. You write that in because it's already in the title. The title already says new construction Claremont. But again, it's not a very exciting title. It's not very clickable. You got to think of it like why do people pick up rag magazines off the rack? It's because they have a title that says, oh my God, look what the Royals did next, or holy cow, the Royals are lying. They use sensational words to get your attention. There's nothing exciting about that title. What you should say, what you don't know about new construction in Claremont. That's an exciting title. That's 10 times more exciting than that. And you like we said before, there's a lot of words going on here. There's nothing clickable about these titles. There's no storytelling. It's just, think of it as a cover of a book. Would you pick up that book with that kind of imaging? Probably not.
Well, here's a contrast to this channel that I've created, my second channel. You have two. So since I'm just showing this because I generally have two people I'm having conversations. This, in my opinion, would be a little more clickable because you actually see us, and basically it's their name. You can tell that it's YouTube. I've tried to keep the titles all similar, and then the live stream we're doing today, like literally, it's the two of us, and then stop, right? And so it's not overdone. So I guess that's my point. Is I could probably clean my titles up, even my thumbnails on this channel up a little bit more, but it's not too much. There's not a lot of words. Grow faster, right? That's it.
These thumbnails need a little work. I'm not gonna lie to you.
My thumbnails?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. There we go. What should I do better on these thumbnails?
Well, with Ellen Pitts, you cut off her arm right here where it's a.
Well, I didn't have a good picture of her. Yeah.
Well, but you could have fixed that. You can't you have a guest, right? And she's turning away from the thumbnail. You should have flipped her around.
Gotcha. See, all right, that's a good one. See, everybody needs a little help sometime.
And then when you have Levi here, he kind of looks like he's lurking from the back in the distance.
Well, I did that on purpose. I didn't want his head to get any bigger.
And then, So like you have Jeb Smith, look at the line, right? So he's down here and then you're up here, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
should have pulled those two images up where the headlines were equal. You should have
Okay.
made your
Gotcha.
image bigger and then, you know, his like in line.
Well, so here's a good one with Rod all on. That's
The
not bad, right?
background has no, like, I don't know.
See,
It doesn't
oh
say
God.
anything. There's no story behind it.
Yeah. Okay. So I need a more clickable on my second channel. I created the second channel not to like
Yeah, I think this is
spend a
like,
whole lot of time on it, but
yeah, I think you're doing this for fun right now, you know, and if that's what you're doing, and then that's what you're doing. But that's what I would
I'll
tell
have to
you
go back
on
and
your
fix all
thumbnail.
I'll have to go back and fix them all per Christina's request. All right, there we go. We are at the end. I mean, we've gone over an hour. Christina's got to go make some YouTube cash. So thank you, everybody. If you enjoyed this, if you like the live streams, drop some comments below and let me know that you like the live streams. We'll do them again. If you think Christina's a great guest, which we all know she's not, she's probably the worst, right?
I know. I am kind of mean. People will say, God, that was really harsh. And I'm like, I don't know how to be. Like, I'm not a sugarcoat kind of person. I don't want to waste your time. You know,
Yes. See, look, I listen to Kristina too. She ripped apart my own channel. So there you go. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it. I love you. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one.